This evening, Rose Hall Sugar Estate to resume operations in efforts to revitalize Ghana's sugar industry. Essequibo man gets 16 months jail sentence for stealing 3 ram sheep. Government clarifies extension of exploration blocks held by ExxonMobil affiliates. In the region, who will be at the first Republican presidential debate and who won't. And internationally, Greece wildfires, firefighters recover 18 bodies near Turkish border. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for August 23rd, 2023. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, the government has addressed recent criticism from opposition parties regarding the extension of exploration agreements on 3 blocks operated by ExxonMobil's affiliate, Esso Exploration and Production Ghana Limited. The government clarified that the extension was granted by its predecessor and must be honored. On Tuesday, the Ministry of Natural Resources, via a statement to the press, stated that the extension for the Stabroek, Kanji and Kaitro blocks was granted by former President and APNU plus AFC leader David Granger. He did so after receiving a request for the same from Esso Exploration and Production Ghana Limited President Alistair Rutledge on July 2, 2020. The extension, prompted by the uncertainties of the COVID-19 pandemic, allows for adjustments to the exploration timeline while not impacting production operations. The Ministry of Natural Resources emphasized that no extensions were provided for production operations under the existing petroleum production license. Esso Exploration and Production Ghana Limited, which leads a consortium with Hess Corporation and CNOOC Petroleum Ghana Limited, operates the Stabroek block, which spans 6.6 million acres. It is expected to return 20% of that deepwater concession next year. In other news, the Rose Hall Sugar Estate is set to become operational again as part of the government's effort to revitalize the country's struggling sugar industry and ensure its sustainability. The move to restart the industry provides economic contributions and employment opportunities for local communities. The Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa, highlighted the positive impact of this decision during a recent episode of Guyana Dialogue. After years of decline, the estate is undergoing extensive upgrades and rehabilitation efforts to increase sugar production. Minister Mustafa stated that approximately 1,100 workers have been employed for the Rose Hall's estate reopening to revitalize a target of around 60,000 tons of sugar for the year. The revitalization of the estate is expected to boost the local economy and reinvigorate the community. 29-year-old Vikish Bharat, a laborer of Henrietta Essequibo Coast, was charged with larceny of cattle and sentenced to 16 months imprisonment when he appeared virtually at the Anna Regina Magistrates Court on Tuesday, August 23rd. Bharat was found guilty of stealing 3 ram sheep valued at $180,000 from Ayub Mohammed, a 49-year-old farmer of Henrietta Essequibo Coast, sometime between May 28 and June 1, 2023. The defendant appeared virtually before Magistrate Esther Sam, where he was found guilty of the charge and sentenced to 16 months imprisonment. Stick around when we return. Training initiative empowers persons with disabilities in garment construction and more, and 2 arrested for attempting to smuggle cannabis to inmates in Ghana's prison.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized gear, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. He is Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all of these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, white spice, and our purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you don't know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, jerk seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radical went to the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. He shaped like a Guyana map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Human Services and Social Security has successfully trained 34 individuals living with disabilities at its learning lab, focusing on garment construction. This effort is part of government's commitment to providing equal opportunities for all citizens and promoting independence among individuals with disabilities. The training sessions, which include basic computer skills, garment construction, and soon adult literacy and numeracy, are held in small classrooms of 15 to 18 participants to ensure personalized attention. The ministry aims to expand the program to include sustainable agriculture and audio-visual editing. At the same time, over 300 people with disabilities have been trained in various programs over the past year, reflecting the government's dedication to fostering empowerment and growth. Additional programs to come on stream include the 8-day adult literacy and numeracy. Persons interested in registering for the program must be 16 years and older, living with a disability, and passionate about learning, and they can contact the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security at 259-3559 or the ministry's website. In other news, Eon Jordan and Shannon Chichester have been apprehended separately for attempting to smuggle cannabis into one of Guyana's correctional facilities. Authorities from the Guyana Police Force and the Guyana Prison Service made the arrest after the suspects were found in possession of the illegal substance. On separate occasions, searches were conducted on items the duo brought into the prison for different inmates. They were both found with plastic parcels containing cannabis leaf season stems in their possessions. Chichester was found with 22 grams of cannabis, while Jordan was caught with 227 grams. The suspects are cooperating with investigators and may face court proceedings. The Director of Prisons emphasized the severe consequences of smuggling contraband into correctional facilities. He called for awareness among prison officers and civilians regarding the risk involved in such activities. Don't go away after the break. Greece wildfires. Firefighters recover 18 bodies near Turkish border, and Pakistan cable car rescue all 8 passengers to safety.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. He is Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and poise cake. For the noodles, all of these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, five spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you want to know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, jerk seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. She shaped like a Guyana map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized care, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Crow Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. U.S. Republicans vying for their party's nomination will gather for their first presidential debate on Wednesday. All but one, that is. Leading contender Donald Trump says he will not show up. He is expected to appear in a rival event, an online interview with former Fox News host Tucker Carlson. Al Jazeera's John Hendren reports.
The Republican presidential candidates on the Milwaukee stage have one goal in common: winning Wisconsin. It's one of the key Midwestern swing states that analysts say Republicans will need to defeat Democrat Joe Biden in 2024. The contenders also agree on most of the major issues. They're anti-abortion, anti-immigration, and anti-Joe Biden. They're expected to focus on inflation, crime, and what Republicans call wokeness.
Most people associate the word wokeness with kind of a kindness or liberalism or anti-racism. But with the Republican primary electorate, it's a very powerful issue. Right? Republican primary voters are much more likely than the rest of the American electorate to say that they care about these things, that they think there is a culture war being waged by the left against them.
Perhaps the staunchest cultural warrior, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who has struggled to show he can break out of his distant number 2 position and beat Donald Trump, the candidate so far ahead in polls that he doesn't plan to show up. But the Floridian has been unwilling to take on Trump directly.
I hope that we will be focused on the future of the country rather than some of the other static that's out there right now.
That has created an opening for former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, who staked out the anti-Trump position and portrays DeSantis as Trump-light.
If he thinks he's going to get on the stage and defend Donald Trump on Wednesday night, that he should do Donald Trump a favor and do our party a favor. Come back to Tallahassee, endorse Donald Trump, and get the hell out of the race.
Tim Scott has been pitching his rags to riches life story as an example for all Americans to follow. Former Vice President Mike Pence has stuck to a traditional Republican economic pitch. Vivek Ramaswamy, former Ambassador Nikki Haley, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum will also be looking for a breakout moment to make a memorable mark on voters. Looming over all this is the elephant not in the room, Donald Trump and his numerous legal woes.
Do you want your candidate running from jail? Do you want your candidate campaigning at rallies in critical battleground states, or do you want him flying back and forth to different trials?
Any contender who takes that position will be gambling on whether there are enough Republican voters who agree to make up for Trump's diehard base of support. John Hendren, Al Jazeera, Milwaukee.
Internationally, from Greece to Turkey, from Hawaii to Canada, dangerous wildfires are sweeping across parts of 3 continents. Families have been uprooted from their homes. Entire towns and villages have burned to the ground. In northern Greece, firefighters say they have found 18 charred bodies of people believed to be asylum seekers. Al Jazeera's John Salopoulos reports.
The hills above Alexandroupolis are a furnace of heat and smoke and flame. Firefighters stand toe-to-toe with the blaze, battling to push back the inferno. But despite the crew's extraordinary bravery, the fires are being fanned by gale force winds. There is little that can be done to stop them.
Our own house up there, where the fire started, has completely burnt down. There is nothing left. Now the fire is moving downwards towards the rest of the village.
Fire. Only fire. That's what we could see. The wind was so strong, no one could do anything. No one.
It's here that firefighters found 18 burned bodies on Tuesday, a sharp and shocking increase in the death toll from these wildfires. This region is close to the border with Turkey, and authorities say the victims may have been migrants trying to reach Europe. The blue lights of ambulances snaked their way through the city in convoy as the glow of the advancing wildfire grew brighter and closer to the suburbs. At the city's 2 hospitals, the time for hesitation was past. From 200 patients, many of them elderly and frail, had to be evacuated to safety. Every available vehicle was pressed into action, even removal vans and laundry trucks. They were taken to the city's port, where a passenger ferry has been hastily converted into a floating hospital. The passenger lounge, now repurposed as a clinic, patients placed on mattresses on the floor, nurses tending intravenous drips and oxygen lines.
I really haven't ever experienced this before, and I've been working for 27 years. It's like war conditions. Stretchers scattered everywhere, patients here, patients there.
Reinforcements are on their way. 56 firefighters have already arrived from Romania, and more personnel and equipment are on their way from the Czech Republic, Croatia, Germany and Sweden. That is welcome news, but for those who've died here and for villagers who've been displaced from their homes, it is already too late. A terrible twilight has enveloped the whole area. The smoke has turned the midday sun black. The glow of flames brings destruction and death. John Saropoulos, Al Jazeera, Alexandroupolis.
And finally, 6 children and 2 adults stranded in a cable car dangling 300 meters above ground in northern Pakistan have been rescued. Some children were airlifted to safety before darkness fell, while others were later rescued in ground operations. Al Jazeera's Michael Appel has more.
Taking a leap at nearly 300 meters above the ground. This child and 7 others spent hours dangling between 2 mountains in a damaged cable car. Pakistan Special Forces eventually lifting some of those stranded in the cart, hanging by only 1 cable, to safety. But it was an operation complicated by strong winds in the valley, with the forces generated by the rotor blades of the helicopter posing a danger to the unstable cart. A stranded 20-year-old, using what little battery he had on his cell phone, made an appeal to a local media channel as they hung in the air.
I don't know how to make this request, but it's a matter of human lives here. The authorities should rescue all of us as soon as possible.
Then darkness fell. Engineers were called in to assist in the rescue operation from the ground.
Right now we are installing another cable so that through another makeshift trolley we can make an access to the ones who are already trapped there and get them out.
Authorities explained they initially had contact with one of the stranded people who has since been rescued.
One of the guys in the trolley, he has got a phone, but so far as by now, what can I understand is that his battery has run out and the communication is no more with the guy who was inside the trolley before this.
Despite the challenging terrain, rescuers worked throughout the night to bring everyone to safety. Mike Leppel, Al Jazeera.
This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's Safe TV2 headline news for this Wednesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.